Hello everyone, if you're looking for full control in your drilling toolpath, in your cutting motion, then the Toolpath Advanced Drill is the perfect fit for you. So let's have a look at this part. So it is a 1/4 inch hole, it's 4 inches deep, and we have some air in the middle because we already cut this slot in here. And I would say it's a pretty deep hole, and usually you do like a spot drill first. You can do this with the regular drill toolpath, there's nothing too fancy here. But then the next toolpath is your advanced drill. So, because a lot of tool vendors, they recommend, okay, you feed in with slower RPM, but with a higher feed rate, no coolant. Once you are in the hole, you want to turn the coolant on, go to your cutting feed rate and cutting spindle speed, cut all the way through. Once you break through something, maybe you want to decrease your feed rate. Obviously, when we are in the air, we can increase our feed rate. Air cutting is only good for tool life, but not for cycle time. Once we enter the material again, there is no spot drill, no pilot hole, so we have to be very, very careful. Maybe we want to add some pack drilling in here. Then we want to have our cutting feed rate again, and once we break through, we want to slow down again, yeah? So you can control all this in one toolpath. So let's have a look inside. So as Mastercam, in every toolpath looks the same. So you can select here your tool. You don't have to pay a lot of attention in your speeds and feeds because you define this here in your cutting parameters. Because here you can add segments with this plus sign. And then here you can go to different depths. Okay, from 0 to -200, I want to go with feed rate 10, clockwise spindle direction, and 200 RPM, and I don't want to turn on my coolant. Then to the next step, 1.45 inches, there I can go to my cutting feed rate. I can turn off through coolant and with a higher spindle speed. I also want to wait 1 second that I'm 100% sure that my through coolant is coming through, yeah. Then once I'm breaking through, I want to decrease my feed rate. Then this is the air cutting move. There I want to have a higher feed rate and lower RPM. This is just for fun to play around. And so you already can see we have a ton of control. Then the next section is here with where we want to enter into the material again. I mentioned that we want to add a pack drilling or chip breaking cycle. So you have for each segment, you have a ton of control. You can turn on tip compensation. You can add comments. You can add special code M functions, yeah. Also here you can define different cycles. Also then you can feed it here with the numbers. Okay, hey, I want to do 50,000 packing and with 100,000 retract amount, and I want to wrap it down again, yeah, not in my feed rate. So you really have a lot of control about the drilling motion. You don't have all this control with your regular drilling cycles. This is what it makes it very powerful. Another cool thing is here in the linking parameters, you don't see any depth here now, because all the depth is controlled here in your cutting parameters. So this is something to look out for. So let's have a look at the toolpath in action. Let me open up this part. I also color coded every section that we can have a look at it. So at first I'm coming down, I'm wrapping down to my top of stock. So then I want to feed in. Now I'm in my cutting feed rate, what I defined, and I'm breaking through with a lower feed rate, feed 5. Then I'm in the air, so I can increase my feed rate to 15. Now I want to do packing or chip breaking, then feed all the way through with my cutting feed rate and have a slower feed rate for breaking through, even with turn tip compensation on and have a breakthrough amount. So you create all this with one single toolpath and you have a ton of control. And when we look at the outputted code, everything is longhand. And you also see I added here like a comment, okay, this is my packing cycle, my packing section. So you can't output any drilling cycles. But to be honest, you don't need this. You get a ton of code anyway with the dynamic toolpath, what we use day in and day out. Why should we bother with drilling cycles? Check this out. It's super powerful. If you guys have a question, let us know. We are happy to help you.